While all those East Coast liberal elites love their defund the police rhetoric, some Hollywood A-listers on the West Coast are perhaps getting a better taste of what that actually means in reality. The Post-Millennial is now reporting, quote, Hollywood elites are furious after a $5 million home near Beverly Hills and Bel Air has been taken over by squatters who threw wild parties. A-list celebrities, heiresses, and studio executives enjoyed the quiet of Beverly Grove until squatters moved into the house in October and began throwing parties featuring cocaine and orgies. According to New York Magazine's Curbed, the neighbors, including LeBron James, have had enough of the wild parties. The outlet quoted one unnamed Hollywood producer who asked, "Who the F are these people squatting in the most exclusive zip code in America?" According to USA Today, the $5 million home was previously owned by an orthopedic surgeon who fled to Lebanon after he was accused of murdering his 21-year-old model girlfriend, end quote. Now, there are a lot of reasons as to why things have gotten this bad, and activist judges are definitely one of those factors. The disparity is quite apparent when you see just how differently January 6 defendants are treated in comparison to all these violent career criminals that we've been talking about tonight. Now, the Article 3 project is threatening a judicial misconduct complaint against U.S. District Judge Reggie Walton for accepting an invitation to go on CNN to comment on a pending legal case concerning President Trump, right smack in the middle of election season. So he can complain about President Trump's criticism of how his cases have been handled, and so that he can complain about the backlash that he's received for handling J6 cases himself. As investigative journalist Julie Kelly points out about Judge Walton, he wants to, quote, operate in almost complete secrecy. No public audio or video access to court proceedings in D.C., so you must go to the courthouse to observe in person. Make outlandish statements in court and render excessive punishment against J6ers, then cry threat whenever they're criticized, end quote. Joining us now to discuss is William Wolf, a former senior official with the Trump administration. William, thanks for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me back on.
Great. So President Trump's facing criminal charges, of course, in Washington, D.C., which is the district of this Judge Walton. And the judge has handled J6 cases similar to that of which President Trump is facing. So do you think there was a major line here that was overstepped on CNN?
Oh, absolutely. It just goes to show, again, the incredible politicization of the judiciary process in America in favor of Democrats and progressives, and wielded as a weapon against conservatives, Republicans, Christians, and the front runner for the Republican presidential nominee, Donald Trump. This was highly inappropriate. It was prejudicial. A sitting federal judge has no business going on CNN and commenting on any case whatsoever, and certainly not a judge who is overseeing cases pertaining to Donald Trump. But the left knows that they can get away with just about anything these days, and their enablers in the mainstream media, like CNN, is happy to help them out.
Definitely. I mean, just look, you had Senator Chuck Schumer, right, threatening the whirlwind against Kavanaugh. You had Biden at his State of the Union address this year, actually, even saying to the Supreme Court after Roe was overturned about almost 2 years ago now, saying that women have a lot of electoral and political power in the United States. So basically the justices should be on notice, which is strange because they aren't directly voted in by the people. You know, Biden's the same guy who wanted to pack the court. That was one of his first commissions. You had his Attorney General, Merrick Garland, allowing all those political protests right outside the justices' homes in 2020 during that summer to try and sway their votes right before the Dobbs case was actually fully decided. They were going off the leak at the time. I mean, we can go on and on and on about the threatening behavior that they commit against the courts. And yet when President Trump just says, hey, I think I'm being treated unfairly, let me use my First Amendment rights to say, hey, I'm innocent of the charges. And I think these bozos in charge are doing really heinous things against me. All of a sudden, somehow that's threatening, right? CNN wants us to think that that's what's threatening, not having actual assassins found outside Kavanaugh's home. No, that's fine. Garland doesn't want to look into those things too much. But President Trump, as you can see right here, that's what they're mad about, you know, being President Trump and explaining his innocence. That's what they want us to think is authoritarianism. What's going on there?
Well, I think it just goes to show, again, the left's motto is really free speech for me, but not for thee. A fair judicial process for me, but not for thee. The left in America has really become a post-institutional, post-constitutional party.